Hey guys, watch Volgar's beer reviews. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna review this, but I just had to get it. I haven't had it in such a long time. I'm not gonna drink all of it. I don't know if I'll even drink half of it. But I'll have some of it, and that's the reason why I got this. Is because it had a twist off cap. The classic Old English 800. January 1915. I had a glass in here, but I took it inside. Damn it. I'll let you out, but you better be good. Okay. And plus, it's a clear bottle. This wasn't meant to be poured in the glass, but it does make things a lot easier. I will admit that. Alright, I don't know how long it's been since I had this last. It could have been that long, but it's been a while. Yeah, definitely smoother than 211 or Hurricane. And way back in the day, Hurricane was my favorite. I used to drink a Hurricane 40 a night, and and still even then I didn't drink a 40. I was never like devoted to one brand. I still had my favorites like Rolling Rock and I don't know, Rolling Rock, Genesee Ice, I guess. But when it came to the malt liquor, it was always Hurricane. But Old English was second, but now coming back to it, 211 I don't have a problem with if it's in like a 12-ounce can. I don't know if it's something ice cold and just in a can. You don't need very much. You just want a can. Then that's the best way to have it. But if I want a 40, I want Old English. I remember the first time I had this, and I actually had the video on YouTube. I think it was the first time, because the two first beers I ever had was Miller High Life, and it took me forever to drink that. In fact, I only drank like 2/3 of it, and the other one was Deschutes Black Butte Porter. But I think the first time I had this, I made the video, and I just went on a rant about stupid shit. And I think that was right after my 21st birthday, or it was when I was 21. But yeah, Old English, it can be fun. It can also it can bring the demons out in you. But anything can do that. I mean, well, at least any beer, any malt liquor, if you have enough of it. This is really easy because it's not really as off-putting as 211 or Hurricane or Magnum. I think this even tastes better than Magnum, honestly, and that's only 5.6. And I don't think it even tastes that much worse than Mickey's. And this is, once again, this is 7.5, and Mickey's is 5.6, I think. This is only $2.50 for this 40 at Safeway. And I know, of all places, I went to Safeway to get malt liquor. I almost got that shopping cart, and it seems like one of those places had a 6-pack of Still Reserve, which actually is probably the best. I don't want to say anyways the best way, but just the most convenient. Just have a 12-ounce, or not 12 ounce, 16 ounce. You're good. Come back the next day, whatever. But this, you're pretty much limited to 2 days. Well, maybe 3 if you want to drink some flat beer, but you're pretty much fine the next day. But after that, it goes flat. And even the next day is not going to be as good as the first day. Yeah. I I don't see any problem with Old English, really. I mean, I used to think the smell was kind of raugy. Well, if you smell it hard enough, it is kind of raugy, but if you don't really smell that hard, it's not really that bad. Of course, it's in the bottle, it's not like poured out in the glass. Another thing, if it sits out and it gets warm, or if it gets spilt on something, like on your clothes, and then you got spilt malt liquor on your clothes, then it sucks. Then it stinks and it's gross. But yeah, I decided to say fuck it. I gotta have another one of these. Oh, I almost decided to do a Colt 45. Yeah, I saw a Colt 45 and I thought about getting that, but I've had that. Seems like I've had that since I've had this. And I remember what that tastes like more than Colt 45, but it was weird. Like, the first time I had Colt 45, I remember being like really stiff and really, really potent. Like the smell and, all that. But I don't know if I've had enough times I've broken it in, Now every time I crack it open and smell it and taste it, it's nothing to me. In fact, this is better, in my opinion, than a lot of beers. I mean, even expensive ones. Like, in my opinion, this beer has kind of an apple cider taste in the background. Maybe it's just me, but with this beer, I don't know what it is, but I taste like an apple cider-esque aftertaste, which is better than like Earthquake or I've never had a Four Loko. I've had Tilt, or not Tilt, Juice. Ugh. But those Earthquake and Stack, they're just like, like like diesel fuel or something. I don't know. Just alcohol. But is there a craft beer off the top of my head that's worse than this? Well, actually, the only beer I can really think of that's worse right now is Corona, because I almost started to bring it up, but then whatever. Yeah, I thought about buying a can or a bottle of Corona and reviewing that, because I haven't had Corona in a long time. And my friend brought it over, I think it was last year. No, it hadn't been a year. He brought it over last year, but I didn't get one to review. And I had it like the year before. And then I reviewed that one. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. And of course, most people know what a Corona tastes like, but what I said, I could say, ruin it for the review, but I'll say this: it is overpriced. I was at Shopping Cart. That's the discount grocery store, a little more ghetto than the Safeway. The Safeway is like more expensive. They have all the craft beer. It's weird. Like you can't just go to either grocery stores and get the same beer unless it's just the cheap stuff. Maybe you can, but I mean, like some Busch or Miller or something mainstream like that. But if you go to Shopping Cart, it's just mainly you got Colt 45, you got malt liquor, and then you got the Busch, the Keystone, the ice beers, you got all of that, and then maybe some Mexican beer, and then depending on the store, and then the ciders, yeah. No, like barely, I don't think there's any craft. There's like maybe 5 bottles of craft beer. I'm like, just barely any. Go to Safeway, it's like half of it's like the cheap beer, and then the other half is craft beer. It's completely different between the two stores. Whew, I'm starting to feel it now. But yeah, I was gonna get a Corona, and a 32 ounce of Corona was $3.29. This is $2.50, and it's a 40. Okay, it's not twice as much, but it kind of is, because Corona is like 4.6%, I think, or 4.5. I don't think it's 5%. And okay, so it's 32 ounces. This is only 16 ounces more, or is that 8? Wow, that's like a math. 40, 32. That's 12, 8 ounces. Yeah. 8. And I guess this video is getting too long, just random rambling, so I'm going to end this video. And yeah, okay, hold on a sec before I end. There's 2 beers I thought I would review. There's Corona, but I'm like, it's kind of expensive. I'll review it again at one point. I will. Because the last time I did a video of it, it wasn't really a proper beer review. It was just like it was like a 3-minute video. It wasn't like a breakdown of the beer. I don't think it was. And then I almost got not Kona. What was it? This is cream ale from Pelican. Pelican's brewing is in New York. Not New York. In Oregon. I don't know why I said New York. But yeah. But there was like almost $5 for 22 ounce. And then look at this. It's $2.50, and that's not even the cheapest. I've seen it cheaper than that. And if I went to Center Market, the store the last store before we go to town, they had the 800 and they had the high gravity right next to each other, $2.40, I think it was. But yeah, I got something else to review, so stay tuned for next video.